Magnus!
Hello. Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fancy, isn't it? We've upped the production budget.
For me.
Just for you, actually. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I've heard you are watch royalty now. So.
Really? I think Richard called me a big name on campus.
Oh wow.
A Beanock.
You're a Beanock.
Yeah.
Studio Underd0g. What a great link.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Segue. So my official title is I am the junior designer at Studio Underd0g. I've been with the brand full-time, 6 months, but I previously did a year in industry with Studio Underd0g as part of my degree in product design.
So you've been there... So when did you actually join? What was the actual start month, date?
June or July, I think June 2023.
Right, so Series 2 is coming
Just
out?
before the Series 2. So I was there, my first big launch was the O2 series.
Okay, and that was where we first met?
It was, yeah.
At that event?
The O2 series launch event with Wind Up.
Where was that? Remind me, it was like a Green Park area, right?
God, I can't remember the name, but it was in some kind of, it was almost a nightclub.
Too many amaretto, spritzes, sour, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember sort of going downstairs, and it was kind of felt like a nightclub, but it had 90% men carrying watches and asking people what was on their wrists.
Yeah. It was an interesting experience from at the time, the nightclubs I was used to being at university.
Fresh from Sheffield.
Yeah. It wasn't quite the party I was
straight
expecting.
into Mayfair.
Yeah. I'm not complaining.
I mean, that's quite a start. So, were you involved in the series too?
No. So that was the design for that was pretty much buttoned up by the time I joined. I helped with some assets, so some sketching. There's a cool little, I don't think it's on the website anymore, but for the launch there was a cool sketch I did.
Oh, nice.
For the O2 series. But yeah, that was all Richard's
That was
doing.
all Richard.
Yeah, I got to come in and just help with not really help, just enjoy the experience.
I mean, at that point, I remember I didn't have a Series 1, but at the Field Watch, when I saw the sort of design philosophy behind it, and I don't know, it was the, God, I'm terrible with it, not jellyfish, that's what's on the back. What's the, I got the lemonade.
Yeah, the pink lemonade.
I saw that and I was like, it's just so fun and cool.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where it really opened my eyes to, I guess, a creative, fun side of watchmaking that didn't you can't be £800 and, a handmade movement and this and then the other. But what you can do is do something different. And that, for me, is what Studio Underd0g did. They were so creative. The thing that got me was the glass with the screws.
Yeah, the sapphire disc as part of the dial.
Come on, that was cool.
It was cool. So it was really interesting for me because I was a fan of Studio Underd0g before I was part of the brand. So I actually bought a Strawberries and Cream.
Oh, you did?
So, one of the first limited editions before I had anything to do with Studio Underd0g.
Okay.
I actually discovered the brand through About Effing Time. I was like, sick, I want one of them.
Buy cart.
Yeah, I actually convinced my dad to buy it.
No.
Yeah.
What a man. Shout out to
Dad. Thanks. It's now my watch, so he gifted it to me. But I was a fan of the brand before I joined. So when I joined, I hadn't seen the O2 series. So I was the first time I saw it, which was in a weird co-working space. I was really interested as a fan to see what Richard had done next, because I was like, okay, well, how do you top the O1 series?
And the crazy success.
And how do you? Because obviously, Richard said it a lot of the time, but the second watch is it's pretty critical in defining what a brand's about.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's really interesting from a fan's perspective to see what he'd done, and then realize that I actually get to kind of work with this now and see firsthand how it goes down.
So you walked in, there were 4 watches right at the start of the O2 series. Was it 4 of them?
Yeah, so
White,
there's
black.
the O1 series, so the Watermelon, Desert Sky, Goofy Panda, Mint
Look at that. It's like you work for the brand.
Almost, yeah.
And then the O2.
Yeah, then the O2 series, so that was November 2023, I think.
Okay. And you rolled on the success of it.
Yeah.
And so at this point, we tried not to pregame too hard, because I'm actually really interested in this story, and then the story of how you've ended up in the sort of perfect storm of.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of micro brands, right? Loads of indies, and everyone's doing cool stuff. But Studio Underd0g is undoubtedly at the center of culture. I mean, I'm thinking about the videos they do, the creative,
Mm-hmm.
Richard himself,
Yeah.
the fierce collaboration. There's like a vice grip on watch culture. Even people who, I mean, some group chats like you, and you know, these are like grandmaster chime collectors,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh no, this is fun. You know, there's something that connects to people.
Yeah.
So when you walked in, I feel like you kind of came into a beautiful storm of success.
It's definitely right time, right place.
Yeah.
I think for me, like where I was on my journey as a watch nerd, but also as like a designer.
Yeah.
And then, very fortunate enough to have landed that internship with Richard.
So how did that work? So you were at uni doing design?
Yes, studying product design.
Okay.
So it's quite a long journey to that point where my internship was arranged. So I was in my second year at uni at Sheffield Hallam studying product design, and like I said earlier, I was getting really into watches, and particularly into Studio Underdog. So things that caught my eye were really the first thing that caught my eye was the split logo.
Okay.
So as a designer, I was like, that is absolutely genius.
Why?
Because the chronograph hand is always down the middle of the watch.
Yeah.
So why have it split your brand logo?
Yeah.
And not just do what Richard did, which was put it either side, and there's that kind of idiosyncratic balance on the dial. So I saw that and I was like, this brand's sick. This guy knows what he's doing.
I'm in.
And it was a bit. I had a moment between uni projects where I had some downtime, and Richard had just launched or announced the pumpkin, so a peace tunique for charity.
Yeah.
And that project came from a customer's daughter. I think she was 13 or 11. Had done a drawing.
Oh wow! I didn't know this.
Of a pumpkin themed Studio Underdog. And it had been sent in, and Richard was like, right, we'll make her a watch and we'll auction one for charity.
I didn't realise that the kid had drawn it. That's really
so
cool.
the kid had drawn it. So I, being an obnoxious product design student, saw this kid's drawing, and I was like, right, if a kid can do a drawing of a Studio Underdog, a product design student,
I'm going to shoot my shot.
Can do some drawings of some underdogs, and something can happen, right? So I drew some like concept sketches of Studio Underdogs, and like looking back on them now, they're I wouldn't say terrible, but I didn't understand the brand DNA as well as I did now. So like the codes we have.
Yeah.
But basically, I did these concepts and I shared them with Richard, and like fangirl moment, he like shared them on his Instagram story with a poll for people to vote on them, which one's their favorite. And I was like, okay, this is sick.
That's quite a cool moment.
So that moment, I slid into the DMs.
Like all great love stories start.
Yeah, I was like, hey, it'd be great to just have a chat, figure out how you got from studying product design into watches. Let's have a Zoom.
Yeah.
So
bold. I love that. I respect that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Respect the hustle.
100%. 100%.
So we arranged a Zoom, and it was a cool moment. I just asked Richard about his like product design process, watches, everything in that circle. I remember some little moments as well where he talked about sampling an 18mm strap, and being a watch nerd at the time, I was like, well, the 01 series doesn't have an 18mm strap. That's 20mm. So
love that you were like, I've got you here. What are you doing?
Then my next watch must be something else. It must be like 37mm or whatever. So I was like nerding out. The cogs were turning. Anyway, had a great chat with Richard and kind of left it very cheekily. I was like, well, if you ever need a junior product designer, you know who to call.
I mean, man.
So left it at that, and nothing really happened. Richard kind of, I think through earlier conversations, knew that I was looking for an internship.
Yeah.
That year, after the second year of my studies. But it was still just him at that point, so he wasn't in a position.
It was literally just Richard.
Yeah, literally just Richard. So I think his initial response was like, "It's just me. Like, if I could, I would, but I'm not in a position to at the moment." So left it at that, and I continued my search for an internship. So I had various interviews with brands like Burberry, Triumph, but no success there.
It was meant to be though.
Yeah.
You're on a path.
So that was, it all worked out in the end. The furthest I got was actually for a position with a like computer software company.
Oh, wow.
Doing something called content design.
Okay.
It was an application I made. I was like, it says design, hit send. It turns out content design is all to do with English and the written content on like applications. Like, so if you hover over a tool in Illustrator or something, it'll give you a little description of what it does. And I got in the interview and I was like,
it's a hard no.
Gotta go. I just wagged it all. And they kept coming back, which was even worse.
You always get the things when it's like dating or whatever. If you're looking, you don't find them.
I think it's...
And when you don't want them, they just keep coming up.
Yeah.
Not that that's my experience.
Yeah, I wish I had that problem. Not anymore. God, I love my girlfriend very much. But I think it's because I was so relaxed in those interviews. But whatever, nothing happened. And then until one day, Richard, it was around Christmas, whatever that year was, slid into my DMs saying, I've got a project I'm working on and could use some help in a freelance capacity.
He came back.
Yeah, he came back, and I was like, yeah, of course. Like that wasn't
even
a question.
Cool? Did you play it cool?
I wish I did.
Did you leave it like 4 minutes, or did you just immediately reply?
I think I replied like as soon as it came through. Like I was very excited. So that's when I started working with Richard.
Okay.
Probably December. I think that was December 2022.
Okay.
Really
early days.
Yeah, pretty early on, and that project never came to anything.
Really?
So I freelanced for Richard for probably like six to 8 months working on this project, and none of that's actually been released yet.
I like that yet.
It might see the light of day, but I'm not particularly pleased with that work anymore.
Oh, right.
Like my standards have gone higher. So
all right, I respect that. But maybe one day you could go back and
revisit it.
Come on, it's the Studio Underdog way, isn't it? Like to have some creative.
There's a story there, surely.
There's a story.
Yeah. So that freelance work eventually turned into me securing an internship with Richard, initially for 6 months.
Yep.
That then, at the end of those 6 months, I got asked to hang around a little bit longer for a whole year. And then, unfortunately for Richard, I had to go back to uni to finish my degree. But now I'm back.
Degree. Now you're back. He's back with a vengeance, full time.
Full time.
I mean, were you a bit nervous? What if Richard was like, "I'm sorry"?
Yeah. I mean.
Or were you just so confident? You were like,
I wasn't confident, but I remember like going into a meeting with Richard towards the end of the kind of year, and like we both kind of just played our cards.
Yeah.
And I was, my dream job out of uni was to work for Studio Underd0g. So when we both edged towards that point of the conversation, just being like, so would you like to come back? Richard was like, do you want to come back after uni? I was like, yep.
Just bit the poor man's hand off.
But also like, it's my dream job, but knowing how hard like to get into the design industry straight out of uni is at the moment, it was no brainer.
And it's pretty perfect, isn't it? Like because it sounds like you're a watch guy before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What started that?
Probably my dad.
Oh, that's okay. That's awesome. Did he wear a watch or?
The story I tell is that we always used to go on holiday to Turkey.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can probably see where this is going.
Love this.
And we'd always, so I can't remember how old I was, but like we'd always buy Turkey watches, or at least my dad would.
Yeah.
So growing up, my memory of my dad is him wearing a genuine fake Heyer Monaco.
Oh, okay.
Which with the watches in front of us, you can maybe see where this is going.
That's a beautiful segue. A genuine fake. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah, genuine. That's what they tell you in the
Is that what it is? Genuine fake?
Yeah. So I think my watch journey started there. I probably didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Until lockdown happened, and my dad again got kind of his passion for watches reignited, and he got really into vintage digital watches.
Okay.
So stuff like the GP casquette.
Yeah.
He actually at one point had all
got
three.
Reissued, didn't
he had
it?
all three of the originals.
Oh, stop! That's cool.
Before the reissue.
That's very cool.
So kudos to him there.
Absolutely, big up.
But then also really niche.
What is your dad called?
David.
I feel like we should call out David for his
spectacular
choice.
He'll be going crazy, you know. But also he got really into like really niche stuff. So there's the Heyer chrono splits.
Oh my gosh!
There's versions of them even rarer than they are themselves, with a Ferrari sign dial.
Get David in here. What are you doing?
Get him on.
We don't need you here.
I'm a no one. My collection's pretty stale.
For me, vintage Heyer is just like aesthetically, like all of it is just perfect. Like, you can't get. There's not much that is more perfect than that era anyway of design.
Yeah.
That's nuts. We got into that as well.
Yeah. So he got into that, and I kind of at the time. I'd just finished my A-levels and I was doing a foundation course in art and design.
Okay.
And kind of that was the first design project as a student where I could pick the topic I want.
Right.
So I designed my first watch then.
No way. So how old are you? What, 18?
18, 19 at the time. And it was a digital watch because I saw my dad.
Yeah.
And at that point, like digital, I was like, okay, that's really cool. Like this is a really cool niche.
Yeah.
And then the GP reissued the casquette. and my dad had all three.
Yeah.
And at that point, like I think like COVID collecting went crazy, right? That's when
Utterly
Rolex
nuts.
hit its peak.
Yeah, everything.
And he saw the GP reissue as like a point, like, okay, I've bought these originals for dirt cheap. I think they were less than £1,000, £1,000.
Yeah.
And when the first reissue happened, they shot up. I think one of his digital watch friends who had one sold one for like maybe £12,000.
What?
Just after the reissue came out.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, now it's time
They
to
gotta
cash
go.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sold. He had the gold filled one.
Yeah.
And the Macleron, and he sold both of those. And he was like, okay, now's the time to buy his Grail watch at the time, which was after many kind of family conversations.
Really?
He bought a 36 Coral OP.
I love that for him.
Right at the peak of Rolex prices. So
Did he buy it from the AD? Or?
No, grey.
Okay.
So we had a pretty sketchy trip down to London to meet in a
back alley, like
not
genuine.
not quite. It felt like that, but it was like a members club.
Okay.
The guy we bought it off was in like a crazy rush. Like he was shaking his knee, like he was on his phone, and me and my dad, like I came with him because we were like, oh, this would be a nice experience.
Yeah.
With our loops, trying to see if it's genuine. So yeah,
Just trying not to be robbed as well. Like.
Yeah. So he bought that, and like there was right at the peak of Rolex prices, so it paid well over the odds, even what it is now. But it was free money from selling the GPs,
No, that's
and
part
it's
of the
the
fun
experience.
sometimes, for sure.
So when he got that watch, that was my first experience hands-on with a Rolex.
Oh wow.
And sat in a hotel in London after we'd like had the experience.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I get what this is about.
I've got the itch.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty cool.
I want to be that guy that's tapping his leg and like in a rush.
Exactly. So at that point, I was like, I don't think at that point I knew I wanted to design watches, but like that's where my kind of interest in watches really started to get going, and I think that folded into where I am today.
Did you have a watch at this point yourself?
I had quite a few. I had my Monaco at that point.
Oh, you already had this?
I already had the Monaco, yeah.
So what's the story there?
That was my 18th birthday present. So my dad, like I said, my dad always wore the genuine fake from Turkey. And for my 18th, the story is that I got the real Monaco first.
Oh, stop. That's really sweet.
So this is, if I had to sell everything but keep one, without a doubt, this is the one that I could never sell, just for that story.
I genuinely think the Monaco is one of the single best designs in the watch world.
Yeah.
And okay, how do you quantify best? Best, it's most iconic. It was like the first square
First
watch.
chronograph, I think.
Like how cool? You add Steve McQueen into it all.
Yeah.
It's like it's the peak of cool for tag, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Above the Carrera, above everything else. For me, the Monaco is, if you're gonna have any tag, it's this.
Yeah, for me, the Monaco kind of, probably because of my personal connection to that watch, but when I think of Tag Heuer, I think of, Tag Heuer, I think of the Monaco.
And the blue dial.
Yeah, it's got to be the blue dial.
It's got to be the blue dial.
This one's an interesting one. So this is the Caliber 12. So like a mid 2010 or something. Interestingly, now that I've learnt more about watches, it's actually a Solita with a module on top. So that explains why the crown is a little bit low. But yeah, sick watch.
That's the level of like nerdery you've got to now, where you're like, that explains why the crown is not quite in this position.
Yeah. And it's, you can look through the display case back and see the Solita kind of, I don't know if it's hallmark, but markings.
Okay, and you wouldn't have known. There's no way you'd have known that at the time.
Not when I was 18. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I was like, I think the first question I asked when I got that watch, I was like, the second hand's not running, thinking that it's the chronograph hand.
How old did you say you were?
I was doing my GCSE, so it's
15,
16, 17,
okay.
somewhere around.
And that's when you I actually was talking. So I gave my brother my Studio Underdog, my
nice
02. You keep saying it differently to me. I keep saying Series 2, and you keep saying
the official. It's the 02 series.
Sorry, the 02. Yeah. Well, we'll speak in official parlance. But so I bought that in the first batch, and I kept messaging Richard, not realizing the Studio Underdog account was Richard.
Yeah.
Being like, just sending, getting my friends to like do really silly things and like just sending it, like, come on, let me have the first batch, because I was in the January batch.
Yeah.
I got nowhere with it. It was only when I got to know Richard, he was like, yeah, that was all me. It was quite embarrassing. But I gave it to him because we went around a half marathon, not that fit. And I'd got it like 2 days before, and my brother's not a watch guy. He loved design.
Mm-hmm.
He was just sort of like, for the first time, really excited by a watch.
Nice.
Even now, he texted me a few days ago about the new release. He still follows it.
Yeah, cool.
But I didn't give him the watch on that day, because I'd had it 2 days and I was like quite excited by it.
You need to wear it a little bit.
But it ate me up. It hurt. It really ate me up. Yeah, no, really quite bad. And then I wore it for a little while. I actually had it on a video, Justin, and Richard sent some watch straps to me.
Okay,
because
nice.
the strap was so nuclear. He was embarrassed, actually.
Yeah, the suede strap is, you got to look after it
It goes bad pretty quickly, doesn't it? I've burnt through a few of those.
Yeah, I'm going to answer no comment.
Well, it looks good, fresh out the box.
Looks great, yeah.
But my brother, so he has it now, and he's worn it probably every day for a year. The first time I saw him after, it didn't have a scratch on it, didn't have a mark. And I said, Rowan, like, the next time I see you, if that hasn't got, some dings, some scratches, the strap's a bit disgusting, I'd be quite upset. And I gave him a few, extra straps.
Time to wear it.
Exactly. And then for about 3 or 4 months after, he'd send me loads of pictures like, hey, I'm in the gym, or hey, I'm doing this. And now he loves the thing. He absolutely loves the brand. And I think that's coming back to it, like, that was £800. And we sort of forget that in the watch world, like, giving that to my brother, you sort of forget that's still a lot of money.
It's a big...
Because we ruin what money is in the watch world.
For the vast majority of people, like, even the 01 series, like, I know a few people who that is, like, that's special occasions.
Right.
So the first watch I designed that was released was the Hawaiian.
That was you?
That was, all me. So the brief was, we need something to accompany the pepperoni. What can go with it? And pretty quickly, like, I think it was like a 2-minute conversation. Me and Richard were like, it's Hawaiian.
It has to be. Studio Underdog has to be a bit like controversial.
It's divisive, right?
It had to be that.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely does. It's the best pizza in my opinion. I voted on that poll. I remember the poll.
It belongs on pizza watches. That's my take.
So you don't, just so everyone knows, that's not your pizza rule.
Oh no, I've grown to love Hawaiians. I ate a lot of Hawaiian pizza since we released that watch.
Because so you designed that watch. It was a phenomenal success. Where was the first? Because that's the one that toured around, right?
Yeah. So the concept for the Pizza Party collection was that these watches could only be available hand delivered. So hand delivered pizza. So yeah, that year of my internship, me and Richard we did a tour of a lot of the red bars in the UK.
Yeah, that was
so Leeds, Manchester, Oxford, you name it, we were there. And then we also had pizza parties the best one was in Geneva. So we had a pizza party on the side of Lake Geneva during Watches and Wonders as a little bit of a kind of guerrilla marketing exercise where, we were serving pizzas on Lake Geneva and kind of all the stars came out. So Christian Hagen was there, Andrew was there, the designer of the Moser Streamliner was there. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a fun one.
That was the watch I think that really added like a cultural zeitgeist, an extra thing to students because people were queuing for them.
Yeah, I think things went pretty crazy with the pizza watches.
I think the hats helped. I think Andrew and
the costumes.
And Richard,
the costumes were great.
Hats, and it was delivered in a pizza box. I'd actually love to know how many people have them because I don't actually see that many, but I see a lot of Studio Underdog.
Yeah, I don't know the number, but now that it's been a little while, you see them cropping up on eBay and like they kind of come with a premium now.
Really?
Yeah, which is pretty cool to see. Yeah. So this is the crew edition, which we just did for people who worked on the project. So it was available to members of Underdog and members of the Moser team who all worked on the project.
Oh, that's cool. And is the Moser one the same color?
Yeah, they're all the same. So it's essentially just an inverted version of the
actual production
passion
watch.
Fruit, yeah.
When I think, where did I see that first? I think maybe Justin.
Yeah.
For being Thor.
Thor.
Or someone like that. But it was such a cool concept.
Yeah.
In a way, and again, there is like this really cool community that you build. I don't know whether it's intentionally or not, but it just sets you apart from I think, from any other brand because you feel part of something. You almost want to buy it to like be part of it.
Yeah, it's I'd like to think. I think we're a bunch of really nice people.
Yeah.
Like the team's great.
You can't mark your own homework.
Well, I'd like to think that. I think that helps. Like
for sure.
And also we're very open. Like there's no closed doors.
That's cool.
In terms of like the transparency we have with like how many we've sold at the end of drops and stuff. So I think that all helps to build a really cool community.
For sure.
And the people who own them are really cool as well. They're great guys.
It just makes you cooler. I technically don't own one anymore, so that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't quite cool enough. I couldn't keep it. I had to give it to my brother. He was significantly cooler than me. So,
okay.
I had to give him my cool points. There is something, I think, about Studio Underdog and the way you're talking about it that leads us into, I think...
This little number.
I don't think we can call it little. That's not... To give context here, like, this is... something you've completely done from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is all you.
Yeah.
Part of your thesis at university.
Yeah, yeah.
So is this when you left Studio Underd0g back for another year?
Yeah, so I finished my internship, and then I was back at uni to complete my final year of product design. And pretty much the deal is you pick whatever project you want. So once again, now with a little bit more experience, set myself the task of designing a watch.
For anyone out there, I saw this. Where was it? The
gimlet party. Yeah.
Those, for anyone that was there, I don't particularly drink, but those gimlets.
They're lethal.
I think I sort of I sniffed one, and I was like, I'm going to be. I think I had to just put it away because they had the cool sort of rice paper thing on top.
Oh yeah, those weren't so good.
It went to sludge.
Yeah, those we haven't done those since.
I mean, I think that was a good move. But
yeah, they kind of. Yeah, I tried to eat one and it wasn't.
I think maybe it was you that it just basically was just goo.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend.
But who is it whose favourite is it? It's not Richard who is favourite.
It's Nicholas, yeah. So the story of the gimlet was like they both got. Am I allowed to swear?
You swear all you like.
They got shit faced on gimlets, and in a very British tradition, that's how a watch was.
And that
inspired.
was that. Yeah. Like, we should create a watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the watch was literally conceived on that night.
I don't think on that night, but maybe once Richard had
sobered up,
had some paracetamol and had some hair of the dog.
Had another 14 gimlets.
Yeah.
No, those things were ruthless. But yeah, that was the night though. You had. Because it wasn't this version. It was.
No, it's what you can see here on the table. It was a metal CNC block with a strap attached to it. So at this point, I'd probably been working on this project for maybe 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, and I've been drafted in by Studio Underd0g to photograph the gimlet party. So that was a cool opportunity for me at that point to bring this prototype with me and to get some feedback from the industry. So
to bring out a watch that is so well received, within that community, that's amazing. You should feel. I hope you feel like great pride about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy for what was a student project to become something that had legs.
Yeah.
So I out of interest, I built a website with a registration of interest, and from various. I was very fortunate enough to obviously have connections from Fratello and Worn and Wound.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote a couple of articles, and from that kind of exposure, but also just enthusiasts sharing it, had about 500 registrations of interest on it, which was, surpassed all my expectations. I was ready, to get this prototype and it just be a cool piece unique for me to wear, But now it's cool that it has potential to go a little bit further than that.
I'm excited for you. I think we heard it here first. In the next 12 months.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but
Richard, give this guy some time off. And look, I feel like we could keep going for hours, which is always a beautiful thing. So I think part 2 is in 12 months. But leave us with one thing, which is, you're working with Studio Underd0g. You're back there full time.
Yeah.
You're not short of a few things to do. There's always a new watch. What's the most recent one? The name always sits.
The Mimosa.
Yeah. You've got your own projects going on. You're collecting watches.
Yeah.
You're here. You're there. You've got a beautiful watch on there on the wrist.
Not too shabby.
Is that the most recent one? My question to you was actually going to be, what's next? What's the watch next? Is there a watch next?
Collecting wise, for me, I think I'm at a point where I'm pretty happy.
Good.
With what I've got.
Hear that.
But I also think that's from a point where I need to be, because my tastes are vastly outgrowing my budget.
Yeah, me too. I'm solidly with you.
So I'd say like medium-term grail is probably the black lacquer Santos Dumont.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I love that watch.
Yeah.
I've been able to try it on a couple of times now. And then long-term grail is I think it's a 33 mil tantalum and rose quartz Royal Oak.
I can't odds that. That is Royal Oak and tantalum with the rose. It doesn't get better. There's one at Davidoff Brothers.
Oh really?
They've got one. Yeah.
I need to stay well clear.
Yeah, well, I actually think you should get it. I think and you were talking about an Hèrmes Cut as well, which one day we'll get you. We'll get you.
Yeah, it'll work out. The straps are too small. They're too short.
small.
Yeah, they're like 160 mil.
Easy to fix. Easy to fix. We'll get you in. We'll get you in.
Yeah.
Look, it has been an absolute pleasure. And a few things I take note. One, I need to get another Studio Underdog. So sorry about that, Richard. And two, I won't be number one, of course, but I absolutely can't wait to be an owner and patron.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's gonna happen.
pleasure. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. See you again. Bye.
Who am I waving at?
Who fucking knows?